Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome back to the Unhinged BookCast. This is a book podcast hosted by two book besties. I'm LJ.
And I'm Jess. Whether this is your first time joining or you've been here from the start, we are happy and thankful that you are joining us.
Whether we're deep diving into thoughts and theories or just riding the vibes, we love discussing our current reads with each other and now with all of you.
Tonight is our final discussion of Kingdom of Claw by Demi Winters.
We'll be talking about chapters 60 through the end of the book. As long as you have read The Road of Bones and have finished Kingdom of Claw, you are free from spoilers.
Speaking of spoiler-free, you can join our discussion spoiler-free chapter by chapter in our club on the Fable app.
While we're on it, please do all the things, liking, following, and subscribing on all of our platforms for the Unhinged BookCast.
It helps us grow and reach new friends. Before we get started, though, we do need to give a quick content warning.
We are reading romantic fantasy books, which tend to include violence, substance abuse, and making it to the full home run at the cabin in the woods, baby.
Though our conversations tend to skirt those topics, we do frequently use naughty words that are not intended for little listening ears.
Now that we've got that out of the way, let's get started.
So, new characters, and surprisingly, for the first time in this series, we have two.
Kind of technically more than two, but
okay, technically
two
more than
notes
two.
about it.
That's true. Still the least that I feel like the least we've had for the entire series so far.
Yeah.
Because we've had a ton of new characters every book or every time we recorded.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you start.
So chapter 79, I had that the crew that is headed out with Ray and Scylla was Mir, Hef, Kelf, Rooney, Neffy, Eric, and Ranavir. I don't remember which ones died, but I know Rooney's there at the end, so we have that one.
I don't remember which ones died either. I'm pretty sure Kelf is there at the end too.
I know Ranavir was one of the first ones to.
Yeah, Ranvir, whatever it was, for sure. And then the only one I had was in chapter 89. We have Nostilov.
I like it.
And he was this Zagadakian. Because I still can't say. I think it's Zagadakian. Never mind.
Zagadakian.
I like the way I say it. Zagadakian. There you go. I was like, where's my syllables at? I find my syllables. I like that. Zagadakian. Anyways, he was with or he's who Cass or Rourke, whatever we're calling him, was searching for. I'm pretty sure that's what he was searching for.
Yeah, that is what he was searching for. It was and they found him in Savaldrin or something like that.
Right.
Or supposedly
Magnus
says
Heart Eater, whatever, tells him that he's buried in
Savaldrin.
But
just where they were doing the experiments. Right. Location, also known as map rants. Surprisingly, I still don't have any map rants here. But we do have the Huckle caves. And like the lock or whatever where they were fighting with the serpents. And then I have
Svangamore.
I practice this like Svangamore pass.
There you
go. Which is the most treacherous stretch from Halsgarde to Copa, which is where this group is headed out to. And that is also where we have the incident with all the serpents and stuff. And then at the end of this book, Saga is on her way to Zagadakaya. And then I just want to mention that Jonas ends up in the pass.
Literally in the pass.
The Vangormor pass. Yep. That's all I got.
Okay.
So history.
You're up first.
I have the first note. Right. That is true. So in chapter 61, I just had that Christian saved this owl, and this owl like now follows Ray around. So I was kind of right, like a spirit animal type situation. And this is Feathers. This is the same animal that helped guide Scylla through the forest in the Road of Bones.
The pine woods or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, and then I can't remember the chapter, and I also couldn't decide if this good grief. Been hanging out with my 5-year-old too long. Um, if this went in history or clues and foreshadowing, but it is history, so we find out a little bit more about Saga's history and why she's like so afraid to go outside and some of her panic attacks and anxiety and stuff. So we find out about her and Magnus and their history together. So basically, without going into too much like gory detail, she used to when she first came. Well, she'd always been at the castle. When they first took over the castle, killed her family and all that stuff, she kind of tried to just like just go with life and move forward and sort of meld into this new family a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, so she was fairly normal. She loved being outside. She loved feeling the sun on her face and whatnot. She ventured into the blacksmith, I guess, right around the palace somewhere.
Yeah.
And Magnus and
Stables, I
his
thought.
Goonies. What's that?
I thought it was the stables, but
I think it was a blacksmith because that would make
okay.
sense with
Yeah,
the
that
brand
makes sense.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, although I mean, historically, the stables and the blacksmith usually were pretty close together because the blacksmith's main job was shoeing horses. So,
Right. Regardless.
anywho, so Magnus and his Goonies corner her, and um, basically they brand the back of her hands. They make fun of her, they taunt her, and then they brand the back of her hands, and that's why she always wear gloves. Where I don't think I've ever picked up on the fact that she'd
I
always
did.
worn. Did you? Okay,
That she
I was like,
always wore
huh.
gloves. I did.
Okay,
But
I
I
did
don't
not.
know. At first, I was like, okay, does she know about her power? Is it like an Elsa thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Was kind of my thought. I
like
know
a
it sounds
frozen thing.
dumb. Yeah, I was like, okay, does she know that like this holds her powers back or whatever? Does she
Mm-hmm.
also have light magic that she's just not telling us yet? And that's how she
Mm.
hides it. Because remember that's Scylla when she first had like the lights
Mm-hmm.
coming from her hands, she kept trying to wear the gloves everywhere. So that
Yeah.
was like my thought, but so
Nice.
I did pick up on the glove thing.
Yeah,
I just
I
apparently never
missed the glove
mentioned it.
thing compare like I missed it completely. So,
Okay.
so anyways, technically that was history, so that's why I put it in
Yeah.
history, but like it did give us a little bit of an insight into like why Saga, because I kept wondering exactly why she was having these panic attacks, why she couldn't go outside and stuff like that. So,
See, I think I seen that it's she has like agoraphobia, I can't say it.
agoraphobia, no, I can't either. I thought
Now
I could
you
say it.
can't even say it. But basically a
Agoraphobia. Is that
fear
what it
of
is?
like going outside. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've always kind of wondered, I'm like, I wonder if that's my issue, but I don't think it is. I think I just like being inside and not being out there in the
You
world.
like books, that's your problem. They
I
need to
like
have
books.
a
Yep.
thing for that. Yeah, me too. I do like being outside, but yeah, I like books and being
Yeah.
inside and reading them.
I don't like being out there in the people stuff. I don't like that. All right. Clues and possible foreshadowing.
Starting in chapter 60, which is not as much clues and foreshadowing because we kind of know what's up with this a little bit more now, but chapter 60, which was our first chapter, the dark, so Harper, whatever we call her, she's like weaving.
Yep.
Um, and Scylla walks in on her and she touches the tapestry. I think this is no,
Hmm.
maybe this isn't where that happens.
This isn't where that happens, but like I
Never
think
mind.
it's the
Okay.
same tapestry.
It's the same tapestry. It's for sure the same tapestry. But anyways, it's coming together. It's coming together. And there's a lot of dark threads in it. And Harpa tells her that the dark threads in the tapestry are chaos magic.
Hmm.
Because she also, like, Harpa kept feeling very like I don't know why this is so dark and black. And then she's like, it's
Well,
chaos
and she
magic.
like is saying about how around the skull caves, Sokol, whatever,
Jokol.
Jokol
Mm-hmm.
caves or whatever that she feels the darkness there and that it's
Yeah.
spreading and it's
Yeah.
spreading all over the kingdom type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then so chapter 61, this is where Ray takes Scylla to like his favorite place. Like I don't know. I'm not a very good visionary without seeing fan art, but it's like this lake and the mountains are around it. You have to hike to it. It sounds really pretty.
Yeah,
Um and I can't honestly cannot remember if it was the light bouncing off the lake water
I
or
think
if
he was
it's
talking
the
like auroras,
sky. Okay,
like the
it's
lights in the
something in the
sky,
sky
and they
like
call yeah. So
aurora
yeah, because
lights. Okay, and they
I
call
didn't
them
put
the
it in
dawn
my
of the
notes.
north.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so they call them the dawn of the north and then they say that the dawn of the north is some say it's Sunvald's show for the kin that he misses dearly. I put it in clues and foreshadowing just because I also know that our next book is called Dawn of the North.
Technically, we're
Um,
gonna do Roots of Darkness, but like that's kind of a
that's true. That's true. The
middle
next like full
novella.
book,
Yeah,
is Dawn of the North.
Dawn of the North. Yep.
Um, so I don't know. I don't know. I felt like that might be interesting. Maybe this is an important place. If the chaos and the dark one is coming out of the chasms in the ground, maybe this is where Sunvald comes from. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So okay, and then in 62, I don't know if this is important after finishing the book, but I still like we know what Cass's magic is now, but also once again, like Saga simply like thinks of him and he's there.
Yeah, that is
So I
true.
still wonder like
What's going on?
we know what's
Yeah,
up with him, but I still wonder if he can like read her thoughts or if she's been projecting without knowing it. I don't know. I don't know if
could
it's
be.
important or not. I just had to throw it in there just because I've been talking about it every other episode. So
Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
it is
Um,
interesting.
yeah, and then the same thing is basically that Cass is for sure making a deal with, this says Sage, but it should be Saga, um to get her out, like we kind of thought would
mm-hmm.
happen. So
Mm-hmm.
called it.
Yeah. Called that. I did not see the ending, like the way it all worked out, though,
I didn't either.
coming at all.
Yeah, and yeah, we'll get there when we get there, but
Yeah, we'll get there.
yep. Okay. So now let's do chapter 69. And we basically got this like dream memory type situation that Scylla has of Mama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I have it. It's like 6.5 pages in my Kindle, so I'm not going to read all of it. I'll paraphrase most of it and read some of it. So basically, it is what I gather. It's when King Ivar and whatever is there. They're taking over the castle. They're
Mhm.
fighting and whatnot. But
Yeah,
they
I think the
know,
fightings began.
yeah, they basically know it's over in a way. And so Savala, which is Scylla and Saga's mom, she she pulls out the white hilted dagger and draws some blood, writes these runes, and calls the Dark One to her,
Mhm.
and basically is making a bargain for her daughter's lives, where she's like, life for life, because that's the big thing here is life for life.
Mhm.
I know you've been wanting me, so here you go. So she's ready to sacrifice herself to the Dark One to save her daughters
Mhm.
from this king. And the Dark One's like, he's like, no, I don't want you. Like you're old news basically. Um and so then he says, okay, so this is from the book. So the Dark One speaking. Little Svala, said the voice, disembodied and chilling. You're all grown up. She says to him, do you still thirst for my soul? And he says, what is it that you want, Svala? Protection, she replied. For them. Ah, said the shadow, tilting its head to the side. For them. My daughters are innocent, said Savala. They cannot, she broke off in a sob. They cannot die. The Urkins have taken Sunovik and will soon breach the castle walls. Askaborg will fall. Please, my daughters, they must be protected. He says to her, you know the way, Savala, there is a cost. A life for a life, she says. You
Mhm.
agree then? Savala bit her lip, eyes shining with unshed tears, and she nodded. Say the word, Savala, and she says, yes, a life for a life. And then it says the candles flared with writhing black flames, power surging through the room and spiraling through Scylla's body because she's having this vision. Um, bonds broken and reforged. So is this the point too where she's in the I can't remember. Is this the point where she's in the avalanche? I can't
No,
remember.
not yet. Mm.
Not yet. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, she's just woken up. She's seen Harper's dream and
That's
or
right. That's
Harper's
right. This
thing,
is
and
right
then
at the
she
beginning.
touches it. Yeah, she
Yep.
touches it and basically gets
This is
like
when she touches the
sucked into
tapestry.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is how Scylla's in it. Okay. So So then the Dark One says to Savala, it is done, said the voice. Savala exhaled, lifting the white-hilted dagger with trembling hands. Now, she said, the tip of the blade hovering over the pulsing point in her throat. So this is the point here. So he says, The shadow laughed, a broken and jagged sound. He says, "Oh, Svala, let this be a lesson in bargaining. Specificity is one of utmost importance." "What?" uttered Svala. "I don't want your life," said the thing. "You'll be dead soon enough on your own." And then it ends.
Mm-hmm.
So, which we find out later. He just can't make up his mind because at first she was the one that he wanted,
Supposedly.
supposedly, because that's yeah, that her life was the one that he wanted. Now he wants her daughters.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it ends. Like we don't ever find out more about that part.
Yeah, it's like he like keeps making deals along the way, which is
Mhm.
kind of what I think is part of it, which
Mhm.
Harper says a little bit later.
Yep.
So
Yep.
anyway, she gets pulled out of this dream memory,
She
but I don't
does,
remember
yeah.
if it's Harper or Ray or the two of them, whatever.
Yeah.
But she's
Yeah.
looking at this tapestry and like Harper's been working on it. And now there's like four figures on it, right?
Mhm.
Which we have. But they're all like black. And it's we have a serpent, a dragon, a tree, and a queen. And she thinks
Mhm.
life for life. Um, and then like she's asking Harper about it or something, and then she says how the dark one has been weaving darkness into the Volsic line for years.
Mhm.
Which is what I was just kind of just saying is okay, is this just he's making all these deals, but not people aren't being fucking specific enough, which is what happens in every fucking book is nobody's specific and
Yep.
they make deals with like anything and everything. And I am reading a book now, or maybe I'm not reading a book. I don't know, but I just would like to say the female character she learns after she doesn't make a specific deal the first time, and then
Mhm.
she's very very specific on the next deal she makes, and she is insanely specific and does a very nice job of it, and I appreciate that because
Mhm.
I hate this shit. Um, um, but um, yeah. So what I have is like so like Harpa says about how she knows of the serpent and the dragon.
Mhm.
Those are Merker's children, but she
Yep.
doesn't know about the tree and the queen, what they mean, what they stand for, whatever.
Right.
So then after that, so then they're still like talking about this or whatever. And she's saying, Harper's saying about how, right, she doesn't know what the tree and the queen is, right? And so it says, quote, Merker's creatures entering through cracks in the world, and the Volsics, the protectors of Isildur, captive and forced into hiding. A Volsic must always sit on the throne to bring balance, to counter Merker's chaos. And then it says, it begins with frost and ends with fire.
Mhm.
Rurker is coming, the twilight of our world.
Mhm.
So I'm like, we have a prophecy, I guess. And like all I can think of is Ragnarok type of situation with Thor. And
Mhm.
I'm like, ooh, this just turned, but I like it.
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
just took a hard right in the right direction. And I dig it because Ragnarok is my favorite of those movies.
Yeah.
And it's good. It is good. But also it's like it's severing the godly world from like the human world and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
that would make sense because I think the gods are in play in this story, and I think they are the problem. So I don't think anybody's gonna be moon blessed by the end of the series because they're gonna have to break
Yeah.
off some connections.
Yeah.
So I know that's like slightly thoughts and theories, but like, what did you think of all this, or like, do you have anything else?
I have same thoughts as you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing different. And then to just keep going with this, I mean, it's quite a few chapters later, but it gets brought up again in chapter 75. And again, she's talking with Harper, and Harper says to her, "What I know of Roker, whatever, is that it has happened before. It is said it began with frost and ended with fire. The yarn begins with 3 long winters bringing famine to the land, and it ends with the sleeping dragons when the sleeping dragons wake."
Mm-hmm.
So remember the mountains that were volcanoes, I
It's like
guess,
dormant volcanoes.
were called the sleeping dragons. and
Mm-hmm.
they call them the sleeping dragons. So
Mm-hmm.
it ends when the sleeping dragons wake, cleansing the
Mm-hmm.
realm with fire and choking the sun with ash and smoke from the wreckage. A new era shall begin. But what passes between frost and fire is not known.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So then we're bringing in, think back to the like the little fleta or whatever, the butterflies
Yes.
that they go up in smoke and ashes, and then that's what creates
Yeah, they're like
new
little
fleetas or
phoenixes.
whatever. So ash and like little phoenixes, and then you have the sleeping dragons, which I've been telling you from the beginning, are like gods of some sort, and they're gonna wake up,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they're not like these dormant volcanoes. And
Yeah.
I'm seeing where this is going. I'm just not there yet. The
Well,
pot
and
is still stirring.
then same chapter in 75, then we also find out that the mother serpent, they call it the serpent, like the mother, well, I mean, like the
Yeah,
mother
yeah, yeah.
serpent, like she's got all of her babies, that is the daughter of Merkur. Because the
Yep.
serpents and the dragons are Merkur's children. So the serpent is a daughter, which also makes sense because you were saying last episode
Yeah, it's
how
really
in listening
feminine.
to it, yeah, it
Yeah.
was like very feminine. Yeah, so that made sense.
Yeah. It's not the dark one speaking to her. It is the
Hmm.
serpent.
It's
Yep.
his daughter. So where's the
You.
dragons going to come in?
Hmm. And are they bad? Are we
Yeah,
different kinds of
it
dragons?
ends when the sleeping dragons
And
wake.
they're in Copa where all the dragon stuff is everywhere.
Hmm.
There's a lot going on here.
It also makes me wonder because Ray has that big dragon tattoo on his
Hmm.
body. Like, yeah.
And then we have the queen. And then we
Hmm.
have, like I was telling you, I think like the queen, oh goodness, there's so many S names here. Signy,
Hmm.
how I think she's like somehow like tied to Mercury and all that kind of
Hmm.
stuff. Yep. So we are definitely like moving in and out of thoughts and theories too, but
Hmm. Yeah.
that's fair. We can keep going with clues and foreshadowing though. I'm sorry I
Okay.
keep interrupting everybody.
Yeah. Okay, so then chapter 77, Scylla believes that the owl is Christian, watching over them, which we kind of all like. I feel like that's kind of been a little bit thrown in our faces a little bit. Like if you didn't pick up on
Yeah.
that, come
Yeah.
on. But what I found interesting about what she says here in 77 is that it's Christian watching over them and doing the God's bidding as far as they're
Mm-hmm.
concerned. So I
Mm-hmm.
found that little tiny tidbit interesting. That it's
Yeah.
like the gods watching over her, watching over them, leading her in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Spirit animal man.
Definitely. Okay, so then this I found interesting and I don't know what to think about it. So, chapter 78, Saga has her little meeting with the queen, and this is after the whole engagement debacle where she's
Mm-hmm.
no longer engaged to Bjorn and she is now engaged to Magnus. And she's like, I gotta go talk to the queen and see what I can get from her. So, she lets her barriers down so she can hear Signy's thoughts. And one of her thoughts is I have plans for this kingdom to make it better, to grant power back to those who are weakest.
Yeah.
What does she mean by that? Who is she speaking of? I, I, I would
My only
argue that the weakest would be those that are in. At first, I'm thinking it's those that are in hiding, like the Galder, right? But she's not trying to give them power. You think back to Signy's past and how her kingdom also was overturned
mm-hmm.
by King Ivar's father, Harold the whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I think she's got this like complex in a way of like being the underdog. She got little man syndrome a little bit, and she's trying to. I don't. I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly. I think she's got. I think her good intentions have now turned totally 100% bad, and she's gone in the wrong direction with it. I don't know who this weakest people are that she's trying to grant power to, because then we know later that she like is giving power to her Clarinar
Yeah.
guys. But
I don't know.
I
I
found
still
that
think
interesting.
like
What do you
she's
think?
connected to Mercury somehow, and that would be
Mm-hmm.
like his demons, dark creatures, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then my final note in chapter 83 and then also in 84. So in chapter 83, Saga goes through her cohesion rite accidentally because Signy gave her the catalyst in
Mm-hmm.
her wine. to see if she was Galdra.
Yep.
And then when she comes out, there's this great dark bird. It's either like in her or around her. I was not totally sure on that part. Um,
Yeah.
and then there's the dark one's voice saying, "You are daughter of Savala. I've waited a long time for you." Then in 84, when Scylla is like under the avalanche and about to die, and she hears the dark one also, and he says, and this is like at the same time that this is all happening.
Yep.
And he says, "How long I have waited for the pair of you to come into your full magic. At last I can fulfill Savala's bargain."
Mm-hmm.
So going back to the little dream that I read earlier, we never found out how that ended exactly. Like, we know that Savala was bargaining for her children's protection.
Yeah, but we don't know who.
Yeah, we don't know who, the who, what, when, where, how, any of that,
Yeah.
because it just cuts off. So, what bargain did Savala make? We know now that both of them have allowed the Dark One in and given the Dark One their
Mm-hmm.
magic, the heart of their magic. What was the bargain? And how is this going to play into
I think
the
it
rest of
has to
it?
deal with, I think they're connected to the moons and the
Mm-hmm.
king connected to Sunvald, and there's something
Mm-hmm.
with Sunvald's fountain, and I don't know. So maybe
And
I don't
Merker's
know.
definitely he's trying to weave chaos into this Volsic line that are
Mm-hmm. That
special.
makes everything unbalanced.
Mm-hmm. And with
And
them, he's held at bay, basically, is what we've gotten the idea of. Like
mm-hmm.
that with if the Volsic is on the throne, then the Dark One and the Chaos is held at bay. And so yeah,
Yep.
he's weaving this darkness into here. He's got both the girls now at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
What was this bargain that she made? And are they going to be able to get out of it?
Okay. Well, while we continue to think on this, let's get into quotes and honorable mentions.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So first in chapter 60, I just love this. She says, so Scylla says, "Ready or not, it was time to be Issa." This is when she's meeting with
Group.
the chieftain and the
Yeah.
appraisna or whatever. Yeah, I love that. I love when the princess that's been torn away from her kingdom decides that she's ready to step into her role and all this stuff. Like reminds me of another book series that we read. So I love that part.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Great. That's a
Mm-hmm.
good one. All right. Mine is, I only have one. Chapter 66, and this is going to be, well, this will come out after Valentine's Day, but I'm gonna make a Valentine's Day card that you guys can print off and send to your friends. But it says, this is Ray. You make me happy, sunshine. So damned happy it terrifies me. But the thought of losing you terrifies me even more. I want this. I want you. I want us. And if you ever want to be Issa, it won't change how I feel. If you wish to rest, I will shield you from harm. If you want to fight, I would draw my sword beside you. If you want 100 chickens, I will build you a hen fortress.
I had that
End
too.
quote. And he is the king of book boyfriends, I've decided. So
Like you said,
none
Ray
other
is
compared.
like book husband
Mm-hmm.
material. He's
Mm-hmm.
not boyfriend. He's husband material. 100%.
When I read this, I asked my husband, I was like, would you build me a hen for I think I said a chicken castle or something, but he was like, yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
sweet, I win. I win. Y'all can suck it.
Yeah, I
That's
had
all I
that
got.
one too. That was it.
That's all I got.
Okay. So in 76. So guess what? Another half cry for Jessica.
Oh, hot damn.
Um So when Saga's about to jump, I mean, like the world's
Yeah, that's
ending,
true. Yeah.
everything's over and whatnot, and she's about to end it all. She's about to jump. And Issa slips through into her mind, and
Just in
their little
time.
conversation, it got me. Like, you have
Yeah.
sisters, and you're close with your sisters. I have a sister I am close with. Like, that got me good.
Agreed.
Hated, loved that at the same time.
And then I see your next note and I have questions. So
Cool. Okay. All right, so then 88 in chapter 88. Um, Cass is basically a werewolf. That's what I'm
Are
getting
you
from this.
sure?
Yeah, okay. He literally says how the moon cycles have passed since he last
So that doesn't mean
transformed.
anything. He's a shifter.
Yeah, he's a shifter, but that's a werewolf thing.
He's a bear.
No, he's a werewolf. He's like,
Yes.
okay, he's not full werewolf. It's
It
like I
sounded
can
like a
see,
bear.
mm, yeah, I
And then
can
why
see
is there
bear,
a
but I
bear
also
on the
see,
front page or the front cover?
I don't know, because of the Urkers and their weird bear shit,
Okay,
and there's a
maybe,
lot more
but
with them.
it sounded like a bear.
He could be a bear werewolf. I don't care. It goes with the moon cycles. It goes with the moon cycles. And he's at least part werewolf. I love werewolves. So I am so excited about this. Like, I can't wait to see more casts. And I love that part. I was like, fuck yeah. I love
Nice.
werewolves.
Nice.
Werebears, I don't care. Werebear, werewolf,
A
werewolf,
werebear?
whatever. Werebear, werewolf, whatever.
Werebear, Care Bear?
I wasn't thinking werewolf. I was having a hard time imagining it until he said it was with the moon cycles. I was like, he's a werewolf. That's a
Okay.
werewolf thing.
I'll just have to wait
100%.
and see.
Okay.
But I don't know why, but my brain went to a bear figure
That's because
situation.
they keep pushing the bear thing on you
Maybe.
in this book.
Or I'm right. We'll find out.
Anyways, with all this though, he does tell Saga that all Zagarakians are magical.
Zagaraki.
Basically,
Yep.
I got magical. Like he says they're like you are, but not quite in the same way.
Yep.
And but that he is like somewhat of an exception, or he's like special. His powers, what he can do, is different than
Yeah.
everybody else in Zagarakia,
Yeah. Which could be
Zagadia,
like what
whatever.
you're bringing up. You keep bringing up about how he's there and
Yeah.
he's
Yeah, so
silent
like,
and he can hear things and
yeah, maybe he's got more than one power. Maybe that goes with his power, his
yeah.
magic. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, I was like, hell yeah, we got werewolves now. Like, you love the dragon thing. I love dragons too, but werewolves? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Love Island and who we're shipping it to. So I thought it was hilarious. So we're putting it on here because Cass and Saga are literally on a boat at the end of this book. And so I
Mm-hmm.
figured that we should say that they're kind of now on a shaky love boat, but they're still love boating. So we'll just have to see where the ship docks, I guess.
I'll definitely tell you, I had a little PTSD there for a second. Just trying to put myself in Saga's shoes and like, poor girl. God.
Yeah.
I would be freaked out too if I was her. I'd be freaked out too. And I told you at the beginning
Whatever. You just said you
when
love werewolf, werebear,
I
care
do
bears,
love werewolves. I do love werewolves, Care Bears.
whatever. She'd be like, oh, hot damn. I got
I'm
on the
not
right
saying
fucking boat.
Saga,
Thank God.
I'm not saying Saga loves werewolves. I love werewolves. But
Exactly.
I was,
I don't think you'd be on the same love boat. You'd be on the let's go love boat.
yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yours would be shaken, but for all the wrong reasons or right
Right
reasons. I don't
reasons are
know.
right reasons.
I'm telling Joe. I'm telling your husband. Mine walked out of the room, so it'll be funny.
Do it.
This is gonna be the conversation in the group text tomorrow.
The group text.
Where bear, care bears, love boats is
Bear, Care
shaken.
Bear. Oh, I
I bet it
seriously
does
though,
care.
like I had PTSD for a second because then I'm going back to Jonas, whatever his name
Yeah,
is. I'm like,
no
this book
shit.
has given me, this book has made me have trust issues. Okay, I like the
I
Cass and
seen all
Saga
the
thing.
signs. I don't know how you didn't, but I seen all the signs.
Yeah, well, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt for a second. I saw the signs too. I just didn't want to believe them. You know what? That's old news. Old news.
Okay,
Okay,
if
old
Werebear
news.
Care Bear turns out to be bad, then we'll both be shocked.
Yeah, I will be shocked. He's definitely gonna like.
Levi says he's gonna be shocked as well.
Good for Levi. Glad he's on board with us on this ship that we're on.
He's on the ship with us.
He's on this ship.
He's my own Werebear Care Bear. I'm telling
Uh,
Joe. Okay,
yeah,
now
no,
that
he
we've
did make me a little
sidetracked.
bit nervous though.
Yeah, you
Like
think so?
he did make me a little nervous for a second where I was like,
I
oh
think it's
crap.
supposed to. It's supposed to make us like, oh fuck, is this gonna happen again?
Yeah, I think so too. But
Yeah.
no, I mean, in reality, I'm like you
Well,
said, I'd be
he's
surprised
gonna
if they
be the
don't end up
sweetest
together.
thing.
Hmm
And she's going to be slightly bitchy, but she needs to be slightly bitchy to get
Mm-hmm.
out of her comfort zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right. Final book thoughts and theories for the next one. What do you got?
I don't want to go first because
You
I
don't
didn't
want to
write
go
anything.
first?
I didn't write anything down
I only
again.
write it down because I finished literally the day after we recorded
You
because
really
I
did.
could not put it down and I wanted to
I
go back to
know.
reading. So I did.
I know.
Um, so first off, I'm loving the series. I do think my thoughts for the series have kind of shifted, not like in a bad way or anything like that.
Hmm.
Compared to the end of last book, like I said, like this is giving Ragnarok type vibes.
Hmm.
Um, digging it. I'm digging it. I still think the sleeping dragons are essentially like these gods that are in play, not just, some books are like, oh, the gods, they do this and this and this, and they created this and then yada yada. I think they're
Hmm.
actually in play. There's
Yeah.
something's going on. They're doing something. There's like a whole nother, which makes sense with like the Ragnarok thing. There's a whole nother situation going on that's not even involving these, but is somehow still involving these ones.
Hmm.
And I think the sleeping dragons are gonna awaken, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
And then some shit's gonna go down. I don't know what shit's gonna go down, but some shit's gonna go down, obviously. Um, I don't know if that'll happen in the next book. That'll probably be towards the end.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm interested in these new shifters, our werebear, care bear type things. I cannot get over werebear, care bears. It is hilarious. Even if it turns out to be like a wolf thing, they're still gonna be werebears.
Yeah.
Um, and then with like the cast and the Guardians. Um, I want to know how they play into this. Like, what part is this? And because they're in a totally different continent that's not on the map, and where is Saga going? Where in the world is Saga instead of Waldo?
Hmm.
Um, so I don't like that. I don't like when there's things happening on things that aren't on the maps on your books. I don't like it.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, so I don't like that. But it also tells me that it's not important, but it's like obviously part of the story is important because there is shit going on in Zaragaragaragan. And so I want to see what it's like. I want to see where we're at. I want to see the world.
Hmm.
So I don't think Scylla and Saga are gonna meet up in the next book. That's not
Okay.
happening. There's no way that's happening. That'll be at least like book 4 or 5, probably the end of book 4 when they
Hmm.
finally come together, and then they gotta defeat Big Bad, obviously, because that's how this works. Um, so I think they're still gonna do like some mind talking back and forth, but I think it's
Yeah.
only gonna be like I think Scylla's gonna have to be off her medications
Yeah.
um for like amount of time to where she like needs it again because like Merker's starting to come through. I think that's gonna be the only time they're gonna be able to talk.
Yeah.
Um, but I think Saga's still gonna be able to use her powers, but I think Merker's gonna sleep in her because she's sleeping inside Saga, if that makes
Hmm.
sense. Or wait, Scylla.
Hmm.
There's too many S names in this damn
There
book.
is a
I'm
lot of S names.
so
Hmm.
confused. Um, yeah. And then I still think the queen is like controlling these creatures with the red eyes.
Yeah.
Because I still think she's connected with like the Merker guy. I just don't know exactly how, unless like the queen is literally he's one of her children or whatever. She's made this deal to be with. I don't know. I don't know. And then this one is gonna not be surprising, or maybe it will. I don't know. But Jonas isn't dead. There's no way.
No.
No
Mm-mm.
way. No body, no death is how I say it. Because that's how we
Yeah,
said was
no.
remember when we put what was her name? When we shoved her over
Skreda?
the cliff. Skreda. We
Skreda?
shoved her over the
Hmm.
cliff. Obviously she wasn't dead. She was
Yeah.
coming back. But then at the end of the book, you got like her actual death. You got to see it. So that's like
Yeah.
she done's out. But Jonas, he just disappeared under an avalanche. And Scylla came out from under the avalanche, didn't she?
Yep.
So Jonas is coming in. I don't think he's like big bad, but he's just gonna be a nuisance. I
Oh
think
yeah.
he's gonna be the gnat that you just can't quite catch. And he's gonna be a
Yeah.
pain in everybody's ass. I don't think there's
Hmm.
anything redeeming for him
No, I don't
Um,
think so. Honestly, I would almost be mad if there was.
hmm yeah,
He's done.
he's done so. And then it's got to be either Scylla or Ray to kill him, and I think it's gonna be Ray for
Yeah,
sure.
I think so, Ray. Mm-hmm.
Yep, because that was a bigger betrayal than the Scylla situation.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't really actually have any clue what's gonna happen in the next book somehow, which is kind
Mm-hmm.
of wild, but I'm excited for it. And
Yeah.
that's all I got.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I got.
I'm on board with everything that you said. I think I'm curious to see what's gonna happen with the whole Scylla and Saga with the dark one inside of them thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
are they not going to be able to use their powers now without him also being a part of it?
I
And
think Saga is gonna be able to, because if one of them numbs it, because remember he's like, it's time to rest now, and she says like the beast in her head or whatever, which is
yeah,
murker to her, it curls up and goes to sleep, and
yep,
then she's able to go do stuff.
yeah,
But Scylla had to be like under these medications so that she can't use her powers.
mm-hmm.
But Scylla still can't. She can still read people's minds and stuff.
Saga, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. So I think Saga's still gonna be able to use her magic.
And I really do think though, and maybe this is just the like optimist in me, hoping that they're going to get rid of him. They're not in their villain era yet. That they're going to figure out how to like what this bargain was and how to break this bargain, and they're going to get rid of it and defeat it. And I think that's probably like maybe endgame. Maybe that's book 5. I don't know.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, it's like Ragnarok. We gotta cut the bridge, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
No, I agree.
Gotta cut the bridge.
Yeah. Um, I agree that Jonas is definitely not dead. And I agree that Ray is going to end up being the one to finally end him.
Yep.
Um,
We don't like man buns around here, apparently.
no. Um, yeah, like I said, I didn't really write any thoughts and theories down. The Zagadakian thing, like, I think that Saga, obviously, she's going back with them. She's fighting it. She doesn't want to, but I think that Cass is going to be good for her. He's going to help her come out of her shell. I think he's going to help her come into her powers a little bit more. And then I think that she's going to end up like basically coming back with an army of sorts of these shifter magical people.
Ooh, yeah.
And somehow that's going to play into defeating the king and the queen and all this stuff. I'm still curious though. I am still so very curious about where Signy actually plays into this. Is she a side character bad guy? Is she a part of the big bad? Like you said, like is Merker like controlling her somehow? Um,
She's a witch. I
she's
she's
a
probably
witch.
not,
She's
but
a witch.
she's a witch. You're telling me that I'm wrong? That will be funny in every freaking series we do.
It will.
Until we read a witch book. I will be
Yep.
so excited when I get you to read a witch book.
Yeah, but I just wonder like what exactly is she doing and why? Like I think we know what she's doing now, but why? Is it
Yeah.
just to give her Clarinar more powers? Because obviously they have the
No.
power. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
What is she doing and why? And how is it going to play into this?
Is
Because
she
we've got
big bad?
Merker,
I still
obviously.
don't think she's big bad, but I
I
think
don't
she's
think so
part of big
either.
bad problem.
She
Does
is.
that
She's
make
definitely part
sense?
of the big bad problem, but she's not
I
it.
think the king is just the distraction.
He's this distraction. And eventually, like we know his death is supposed to come at the hands of a Galder and whatnot, and that's
Mhm.
why he's gone after them. Like he's gonna die at some point here
Yeah.
soon-ish because of them. But I also wonder, Signy hates King Ivar so much. She's
Hmm.
made that pretty clear. Um, when he's dead, what is she gonna be like? Is she gonna be alive still at the same time? I
Yeah.
she is a mystery to me in a way that I'm really curious to find out what happens with her.
Yeah.
So I really don't have any like theories necessarily, kind of some thoughts on how things might go. But that's about it. That's about it for what I've got right now. Like you said, I don't know exactly where the next book is going or
I still
what's
think
going to
there's something
happen.
up with Bajorn.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
Because
think
as of right now, we know that Bjorn, King Ivar, and Signy are still alive. They're at least not confirmed dead, which I wouldn't
yeah.
believe if they said
No,
they
that
were.
agree.
Ursa's the only one that we are confirmed dead.
Yeah.
So,
And something's up with Bjorn.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Something's up there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also the little baby, the little 2-year-old.
That's right. There
Signy's
is
little
another one.
2-year-old too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yep. That's what I got. Not a whole ton, but
Okay. Well, let's update the cry counter because this is for the whole series.
yep, I did.
So you got to keep counting.
Yep. So I'm at a big old 2.5. I feel like every chapter chunk we read gives me another half at
At
least.
least.
This author is just good at
Yeah.
bringing
We've
you
already
to
talked
the
about it. The
emotions. Like,
emotional stuff
she's
is
really good at it.
really well written. Yeah.
I'm pretty connected to these characters.
Yep. I agree. I'm just still at a 0. Okay, star rating out of 5 stars. What'd you give this book?
5.
Same.
There was really nothing in this book that I was like,
This book
you
was
don't like this or
good.
whatever. Like the plot, the characters, everything was great.
Really good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All
What about
right.
you? Same.
Yeah. 5. 100% 5.
That's
So
surprising.
good.
We don't usually agree on
We all
stars.
don't usually do 5 stars. Yeah. And I don't
And
hand
that
them
too,
out.
we don't usually do 5s. I think I do a
Yeah.
little bit more than you do, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I've been handing them out left and right this year, which I don't know. Maybe I
You're
just
getting soft.
getting soft. I'm loving it too much.
Oh, okay. We hope you are all enjoying reading and discussing this new series with us.
Want to be a podcast member? Then do all the social media things like, follow, comment, and subscribe.
Next week, we will be moving on to book 2.5 in the Ashen series by Demi Winters, Roots of Darkness. We will be discussing this one as a whole since it is short and sweet, so there will be no chapter chunks for this one.
Then we'll be moving on to Dawn of the North, which is book
Mm-hmm.
3 in a 5-book series.
If you can't wait to talk about it, you can do so over on the Fable app and discuss with us spoiler-free chapter by chapter.
And as always, buddy reading any book with Book Besties is so much fun.
So make sure to share our podcast with your book besties. And if you don't have any book besties,
Then become one of ours. And until next week, fill those drinks with ice.
and your books with spice.
Bye.
Bye.